One of the reasons we talk about adversity on the show is because the clues that you learn from the adversity, once you've learned them, you can apply those towards your success. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Hey, yes, you bet we're back at it again today. It's Dan Brzezowski. Welcome to the No Comfort Zone. Wanted to take a moment to talk to you about what's happening in life, things and whatnot, and everything good in the No Comfort Zone. So I don't want to come across as being the guy who's going to be always talking about adversity. What I'm saying is that whatever adversity you've gone through, whatever you're currently dealing with, whatever adversity you might be headed in, I just want to share with you that there are principles that you're going to learn that are going to help you through situations so that when that adverse time is over, you have an opportunity to become ultra successful. That's just the way it works. I tell you time and time and again, I failed more so than more of the people that I know, and I've taken those lessons. Most of the time, I haven't done anything with them. But recently, I would say in the last 3 years, I've really reflected on really dissected the problems that I got myself into, financial, relationships, health, business, all of the things that, that we exist and we go through, just personal reflection, spiritual. And I look at all the problems that I have and where I was lacking in those areas. And what I've come up with is pretty simple, that I just need to pay attention to these, let's call them buckets. The spiritual bucket, the financial bucket, the relationship bucket, the health bucket, the community bucket, whatever it might be. Why was I deficient in not excelling in those areas? Because I believe if you can excel in one area, you can excel in multiple areas. And the No Comfort Zone Blueprint does just that. Wherever you want to put the focus on this blueprint and you want to put that energy into that space, well, the blueprint has an answer for you to find and dissect the problems that you've had in your past, and really gives you a chance to reflect and get the knowledge and the know-how on how to turn that into success. So currently I'm working on, health and fitness. I talk a lot about that a lot. I'm in the process of trying to shed body fat, increase lean muscle mass, increase my vitality and flexibility, and doing it where it doesn't take me all day to get there. So I'm spending a lot of time doing that, and what I mean about an hour and a half a day. Tied to a community and Team Nanotest, Performance Elite members is where I'm at on Facebook, and that's where I go to connect with the group and do that. Shout out to you guys. And then also I spend time to and from in my vehicle, listening to audiobooks or listening to, whatever is my university for that day, whether it's personal growth and development in wealth, health, or relationships. And that's where I focus on, business, whatever it is. So I spend my time doing that. Now today I want to talk to you about success. And what that means is, so interestingly enough, the way the whole universe works in my world is that when you put energy into a space and you do the right thing, when no one's looking, when you do the right thing, when you're tired, when you do the right thing, the next right thing happens and opportunities show up. Recently, there's a lot of things going on with investing. I'm currently listening to a book about how to increase my net wealth, and I'm following the principles in that book. It's from T. Harv Eker. And the name of the book is The Millionaire Mind, and I'll put the description in the link below so that you can actually gain access to it on Audible. But I'm applying those principles, and I think it's been a month since I've actually listened to the first round, and now I'm on the second round, and it's unbelievable. I've applied the No Comfort Zone Foundation Blueprint again to something else that I'm working on. When I get knowledge and know-how, that's part of the blueprint. When it comes to wealth management, and now that I'm actually tracking my spending, tracking my net worth, and I'm following the principles in this book, my net wealth and my net worth is increasing. And I'm not in a place where I'm earning the most income I've ever earned in my life. I'm just following the principles, and it's amazing what's happening. I follow the same principles when it comes to relationships, and whatever books I'm listening to, and I run it through the blueprint, and it just spits out exactly what's going to happen, and that's what's happening. So I want to share with you, if you're not where you want to be at in life, and you've had some things happen to you in the past, good, bad, or indifferent, there's lessons to be learned, especially from the bad stuff. once you have those lessons, let's go through the blueprint. Let's reflect. Let's become aware. Let's identify. Let's decide and take action. And when you do that time and time again, it's just amazing. More and more opportunity come up. Because I just received a phone call. I just left a meeting in Rockford, going back on my way to Crystal Lake where I work. And I just received a phone call for somebody that wants to pay me to do an interview and talk about what I talk about on this podcast. They're a listener, and I got reached out to me, and they're like, you know what, we want to talk to you about the blueprint. And I am willing to do this for free. And they're probably going to listen to this podcast, but they offered me a dollar amount, and of course I'm going to take it to talk about it. And the great part about this is that it's a Zoom recording, and I get an opportunity to talk about how this has affected my life. And in the conversation, it's like, you talk a lot about adversity. It's like, yeah, but I also talk a lot about success too. And the funny thing is this person got the fact that I talk a lot about adversity, which is great. But I don't dwell on the adversity. I look at it, I take the emotion out of it, I realized what happened, and then I move on. What was the situation that led me to this point to want to learn about financial freedom? What I did is, because I realized I worked long and hard, 14, 16 hours a day for a long period. I traveled a bit, and I realized that I was more of a shallow human being because all I did was work. No hobbies, no interest, no anything else other than that. Well, now I'm turning some of the hobbies that I have into generating income, and it's working out for everybody. They benefit, I benefit. World's a better place because of it. But I wouldn't have been able to do that had I not realized that I've gone through an adverse situation, held myself accountable, and decided to truly move forward in a space where I can help other people. Because at the end of the day, that's all I want to do, is I want to help more people get to it where it is that they want to go. And the way that you do that is you decide, what do I want out of my life? I want more. I want to increase my net worth. I want to reduce my body fat. I want to move a little bit more. I want to be better in certain areas of my life. I want to be a better employee. I want to be a better CEO. I want to be a better, whatever it is. From an outside point of view, from my blueprint, I can point out a few things that might help you. Just that simple. So go to my calendar. That's like the second step. Once you've made a decision, take action. Launchwithdan.com. Get on my calendar. You'll see the calendar. You'll see my picture. Click the calendar, date and time, put it in there. I'll get an email. And if the time works out, I'll confirm it and we'll have a conversation. I'll call you. Just give me your information so that we can start chatting it up. And at the end of it, I'm going to ask you a few different things about the blueprint. I'll explain to you what's going on. We'll go from there. If that's too intrusive, email me 3 things you want out of life, 3 things that are holding you back, and I'll end up sending you the blueprint to your email. You can get me at dan@thenocomfortzone.com. And if you really want to be super cool, give me a like, rating, review if you can. Greatly appreciate it. Reviews are cool because other people read the reviews and they listen to the podcast. So basically you're helping other super cool people just like you find the podcast. Share it with every single one of your friends today. Listen, I'm asking for help. Do me a favor. I'm the universe. I'm putting it out there in podcast land. Send this podcast to all of your friends, your family, your relatives. Put it up on social media, put it on your Facebook. Do whatever you can to support and help, because I greatly appreciate it, because it's growing every day, and it's growing every day because you're super cool and you're doing great things, and I greatly appreciate you doing that. Now, enough about that. I'll just tell you this, that if you take one step in the right direction, like 30 days ago, I made a commitment, I'm going to increase my net wealth, my net worth. And by doing so, I took a few very small steps, folks. It's not like, I can quit my day job. I can't do that. That's it's not part of the plan. It's not part of my overall. But I can tell you this, that it has increased, and it's super exciting, because when you lose the 31 pounds in 6 weeks, when you increase your net worth by 7%, when you simplify your life and you get rid of expenses, it's kind of a cool place to be, because you start to see you're making progress. Now you take that trajectory of the progress and you look where you're at. Now you lost the weight, you increased your wealth. Now look at your relationships. You're going to be a better person showing up in those relationships. Or be a better person showing up in those relationships, and then watch what happens with your energy level to go ahead and exercise and lose the weight. It all works together. It's the last part of the blueprint. It's called the momentum cycle. And then everything starts to take off really fast. It snowballs out of control, where you become successful just because you've been doing a little bit here and a little bit there. It's all synergistic. One thing ties to the next. next thing you know, you're exactly where you want to be, and you never maybe thought you could be. And the best way to do that, ladies and gentlemen, sports fans across the world, podcast listeners, the only way to do that is to break the pattern of predictability, break that pattern of behavior, get outside of your comfort zone, and live on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.